time. Something has got to happen because we can no longer go down the path that we're going down. This country won't last another 6 months. This country won't last another 12 months if something doesn't happen. So it's time to flip the switch. It's time to get involved. It's time to move the line forward. And if you're not part of the solution, then you're part of the problem. So I don't care what flip the switch is. I don't care if that means that all of this nonsense is nonsense, or if some of it's true. All right. Welcome, Warriors. Welcome, World Patriots, and my fellow Americans. My name is Mike. I'm the host of Liberty Warrior. Give me liberty or give me death. Tonight is Saturday night, March 12th, 2022. And boy, we are ready to have a great show tonight. It's off the cuff. But when Jeff B calls, you answer. He called me a couple of times, shot me some text messages. We were actually going to wait until after Trump was done with his speech. That was the goal. But Jeff got some other information, and he said, let's go. So thank you, Lily J, for the super chat. Tonight is going to be an exciting night with Jeff B. So buckle up, sit back, and enjoy. I'm going to bring the man of the hour in right now. How's it going, Jeff? How are you this evening?
That has to be the longest intro ever.
You're ready to go. I'm just gonna sit back. Let's do this.
Oh, well, I don't want to say I told you so, but here comes the fire hose. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so, for people that follow me on Telegram, about an hour and a half ago, there are two frequencies that I know of that the U.S. Command Authority transmits an EAM, which is an emergency action message.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, what that message is, it's a 30-letter number group that is predetermined. So, all commanders, sub forces, everybody has a book that has these EAMs. And based on what is transmitted, that's their set of orders. So on 8992 kilohertz, the emergency action message was sent. Um, and so I copied that, put it in the audio form on Telegram, and I sent you a copy of it.
Yeah. Would you like me to
And
play it?
yeah, you can if you want.
If anybody hasn't heard this yet, I'll play it for you real quick in the mic and you guys can listen to it. Jeff can explain, not explain, whatever he wants to do. Hold on. Trying to turn it up as loud as it'll go. Like that was it.
Yeah, and then in the sheet they end it by saying this is not a test, because they will send out tests on these frequencies. Um, and so about a half hour after that, somebody started jamming that frequency, so they switched to the alternative frequency, and they transmitted another message. And she also, the automated computer lady, um, said this wasn't a test. Now, after the first transmission, Blackjack won, which is, I believe, Blackjack One is a Navy ran uh, command and control center, uh, and they put a cap over Andrews Air Force Base. So after the second transmission, some of the guys that follow ADSB and all of these flight tracking, uh, the quick reaction force out of Fort Bragg departed. Um, and so, for most people that don't know, it's been confirmed that up to 14 ballistic missiles were fired out of Iran and hit Iraq near the U.S. consulate. And there was some attacks inside of Saudi Arabia. And so when I started to send out feeler messages to some people, they pointed me towards a couple Twitter accounts that the IRGC, which is the Iranians, use to transmit messages abroad. And basically, they're saying that they are siding with B and Z out of Russia, which that right there alone kind of, it almost sounds like a setup. and what BZ is the group that's invading the Ukraine.
Okay.
So I noticed on ADSB that we have an abnormal amount of command and control night watches up. So things are about ready to go hot. I don't know what hot it's going to be, but for them to send out, normally what they do is at the top and bottom of the hours when they'll transmit EAMs, and it'll be on a constant loop. And then at the quarter and top quarter of the hour, that's when they transmit uh, to submarine subforces. But the top and bottom, the location that I and a couple other guys were able to DF it, which is direction finding, came out of Virginia. So that tells me it was probably either Norfolk or ComSub Atlantic, which is Commander Submarine Forces Atlantic Fleet. So something's about ready to go hot.
So they were asking when I was trying to play that in my mic, and I apologize for the quality, folks. That's the best I could do. Could you maybe go in a little more detail on that, Jeff, and tell them kind of what they were saying?
Okay. So basically, it's the phonetic alphabet. So they'll say, Oscar is O, Quebec is Q. So, and then they throw in numbers. Now, what it is, it's a 30-letter number group. And these 30-letter numbers, what they do is once it's transmitted and whoever's in a skiff, whether it be surface, subsurface, land-based, they get an EAM. And what they do is they go to the safe, they do a crack of the key, and this key, once they start doing cryptograph, they start lining up on what the message is. And if hypothetically, let's say the message said, to attack a certain land-based target or whatever, once a submarine gets that, this is just subsurface. Once a subsurface gets that message, unless they get a transmission to cancel it, that action is taken out. So it's going to get hot. Something, and like I told you for days, something don't feel right. No, nothing about this feels right. The whole Ukrainian thing doesn't feel right. And what was it, 5-6 days ago, I was talking about these labs inside the Ukraine, and everybody said, oh, that's all bullshit. And Victoria Townsend was in front of Congress testifying, and she basically told Marco Rubio, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. The United States has 16 labs inside the Ukraine. And when they were broadcasting that live, mysteriously after she said that, the cameras got cut. So they don't want this information out there. And I'm not quite sure what the play is or what's going on. I wasn't even listening to Trump. People were telling me I doesn't look like him. Who in the hell knows?
Yeah. So just so you guys know, I'm broadcasting across multiple channels right now on YouTube. That's why I put the overlay up on screen so you guys can communicate back and forth. We're on LWN, LWN 1, 2, 3, Facebook, and Twitch right now. So thanks for joining us, folks. Share this out if you can. Share this out, like, subscribe. For those of you who are watching and can't figure out why you can't comment and chat, I've cleaned up chat quite a bit. I put a filter in there. If you're not subscribed to this channel for at least 7 days, you're not going to be able to chat. We got to get rid of the bots and keep our guest safe here. get rid of the trolls. So anyway, if you're finding difficulty doing that, just subscribe to the channel. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, I told Jeff this earlier, probably a day or two ago. I've got my phone right next to me. If Jeff has anything like this that comes off, he knows that he can get a hold of me and we'll come on immediately. So if you guys want to stay up to date with what's going on and what Jeff is seeing and hearing, make sure you subscribe to this channel because I'll be coming on as soon as he says, "Hey, we need to go on." So Jeff, the question is in chat is this only going on in the Middle East?
No. No, there's some other movement in the South China Sea, and planes being scrambled out of Eva, or not Eva Beach, Hickam Air Force Base. So, like I said, drip, 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 garden hose, fire hose. I think we're about ready to hit the fire hose.
Yeah. So, I mean, where does this put the UN and the United Nations on alert when all this is going on, and they're all over in Europe, poised? And we've talked about the MiG-29s. We talked about Germany, Poland. Where does this put the UN and NATO at this point?
Well, I mean, Iraq's not a NATO nation, so I mean, the only thing they have is a UN Security Council. And with Russia having a veto, I don't foresee anything. I mean, hey, just like Trump said, the world's going to go to shit. Like I said, I still support the guy, but if there isn't something going on behind the scenes, that me personally, I think this has gone way, way too far, and it's making too many of us look like idiots. But I think we're going to be justified here, and well, you're seeing it. You're seeing people that were calling us loons. They're even starting to say, you guys might want to do a little prepping. Might want to get some, because everything looks a little weird.
They're saying multi-state outage is being reported right now. Do you know what DEFCON we're on right now?
Well, that's DEFCON's classified. They won't report, but I can tell you this, and this is based just on experience from working on a watch floor. When an EAM is sent out, you're normally at 2. And that normally means we're in imminent danger. And 1 is just all out balls, hells everywhere.
Kiss your ass goodbye.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't want to go to DEFCON 1 anytime soon. Where do you think Israel stands on this?
I haven't heard anything out of Israel. Of course, I haven't really been paying attention to Israel. But, with them, now it's unconfirmed so far, but supposedly the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia was hit as well. And, for people that are asking this is a scary event. No, I've seen the videos of the multiple Twitter feeds from people in Iraq showing the ICBMs or the ballistic missiles, whether they're ICBMs or not, actually hitting the target. I mean, there was the video I seen, I counted at least 8 hitting, and they come in fast in that area. I'm pretty certain they have a Sea-Wiz, which is a close-in weapon system. It's like R2-D2 with a hard on.
Mhm.
It shoots depleted uranium bullets, and it'll shred something 1 square inch. And I didn't even see Sea-Wiz kick in. So
Here's a question from Luann. Jeff, will war come to our soil here? I don't believe it will. I think that would be really dumb. But I mean, I'm not a military guy. Your thoughts?
well, depending on what aspect, uh, just think about all these people that we have supposedly led into this country, unvetted.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we let this happen before 911, and look what happened, supposedly. So, I mean, shit, we can't keep track of our own citizens, not alone anybody else that's in here illegally.
Yeah. Yeah, good point. Where does this leave the United States, Jeff B? That's my question. Is with all of this going on, where does this put us? With all this stuff popping off and going on, are we gonna are we gonna finally tighten our borders, the southern borders? Are we gonna get a real commander in chief?
Well, here's the scenario. So this is when this first all started to break loose. Uh, my thoughts were, why would Iran attack Iraq? Why would they hit a U.S. consulate? Well, that would then drag the United States into some type of conflict. And with the Twitter accounts for the IRGC coming out and saying we stand with Russia, because they've been trying to get NATO pulled into this Ukrainian conflict. They've been trying to get Biden and Bob Marley to get into the Ukraine conflict. And Congress is just, those bunch of idiots. Uh, so if Iran attacks Iraq and hits our consulate, now I guess we're kind of going to be obligated to do something. And now that Iran says that they're aligning with Russia, that could pull us into the Ukraine.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we want to hear that. It's crazy about what's going on. We've been talking about EBS for months too. I see some of that in
Right.
the chat. Um, at this point, Jeff B, I'm going to ask you point blank.
Mm-hmm.
At this point right now, I know you and I've kind of gone back and forth about EBS for months now. At this point right now, what you're seeing and what you're hearing, could it be possible that we hear an EBS?
Yes. Because, look, people are so tone deaf to everything. If the United States goes on to a major war footing, hold on.
Iranian forces have attacked military bases in Iraq, our air base, as well as the U.S. consulate in Iraq. Repeating, Iranian forces have attacked
Iran just attacked our air base in Iraq.
with at least
This is breaking right now.
Yep. Yeah.
This is breaking. Share this video out, everybody, if you can. Hit Facebook, wherever. Share this video out. It's breaking right now. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah. So they just attacked our air base in Iraq. So we'll have to wait to see if we get some video on that. But that just come across the broadcast of guys that we use an encryption telecommunication software, and they just put it out.
Gotcha. Jeff, could this possibly be a distraction? I'm asking you straight up, point blank. Is this a distraction? The reason why I'm asking this is because the omnibus bill, the 1.5 trillion that they just passed through last night through the House, or maybe it was a day ago through the House, is supposed to go to the floor of Congress. In that bill, they're trying to fight us on our Second Amendment and a bunch of other stuff. Could this just possibly be just a distraction while they sit there and get all this stuff passed through Congress while we're not looking because everybody's paying attention to what's going on right now?
I can't buy that. And the reason I say I can't buy that is because let's say that there was Marines in the consulate in Iraq, hypothetically. Don't know if there are or if there isn't. If they attack and one Marine is killed, that's an overt act of war. So you mean to tell me that they would stage an attack to get a bill passed? To me, that doesn't make any sense. Anything's possible. We've seen stupider, dumber shit done, but that's a big stretch. And not saying anything against you, and I totally understand the question because that's all we see as distractions.
Yeah.
But it's pretty dicey. That would take some major stones.
That would be, in my opinion, if they're going to do that, that would be that'd be pretty crazy to have some type of world event to be a distraction. You would think if they were going to come with a distraction to be right here in America, like why not send in BLM or Antifa to go, burn one of the major cities to the ground while we're watching that happen? Then they do something like that. Why would it be a world event to be a distraction?
Right. Yeah, and I mean all of this. Here's the weird thing. This is a major event. This attack. The news isn't even covering it, and if they are, it's a tidbit. Makes no sense because to them, this is ratings, which it means dollars. You think they'd be all over this nonstop 24/7. But I guess they'd rather talk about sexual changes.
Yeah, I saw a couple of comments in there that were full of shit, and that's fine. If you want to think that. So Lily put out, Newsmax says attack in Iraq, U.S. consulate, no injuries. So I'm trying to see if it's getting put out on MSM or any other networks here. It says Newsmax is putting this out. So I don't know if anybody's watching any of the other networks right now. I don't know. I'm just trying to put out information. You take it for whatever it's worth to you. For me, I've been prepping for quite a while now, and I went out and bought gas cans. I mean, I bought seeds. There's a lot of things that my ass right here in my little town is doing to make sure that no matter what is going on, whether it's false flag, distractions, or whatever, I believe the economy is going to take a major hit.
Well, yeah.
And so I'm doing whatever I got to do to take care of my son, my two daughters, my parents, my friends, my family, and everybody around me. I want to make sure that I can be an asset to them and not a burden to them. So, I went and ordered some more silver. I bought some gas. I just did everything that I can do just to be ready for whatever's about to happen. I feel, and I've been saying this for weeks now, there is a major shift getting ready to happen. And I think in my opinion, I think we're seeing it right now.
Yeah. And, a lot of people in the chat are saying this is fake. I'll tell you what, I've seen about 6 or 7 videos of people standing on their balconies filming it live and there was the one in Erbil where I counted at least 8 missiles. You see the implosion, you see the impact. There is no way nobody wasn't injured unless that place was complete. Because, I mean, it took out probably 6 to 7 city blocks. So here's the thing. I mean, the news media is not talking about this like they should be. You know, I think somebody said Newsmax did a little bit. Fox, I don't know. And the guys that I'm talking to that, well, the one you know of, Mike, when I called him, he said he can't really talk and sending text messages. So there's something. Now, I don't know if he's in South Carolina or if he's somewhere else, but I don't know. This weekend's going to be interesting. Is this the nuclear winter they were talking about? I don't know. Sure in the hell. And look, here's the other thing. Why would Trump come out and say, basically you haven't seen shit yet. Wait till after the Olympics. Is he Nostradamus? Is somebody feeding this to him? I mean, he has to know something. And hold on. Where's the president of the United States at? A U.S. consulate was just attacked by Iran. Why aren't you on TV reassuring the American people? Or is he in bed?
Well, I'm sure he had the early bird special at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then I think he goes to bed shortly after that. So he's probably
Right.
asleep right now. I'm just seeing if anybody just checked Fox talking about Ukraine. Nothing seems to be he's in his bunker. They said Newsmax put something out. Yeah, it's going to be a very long night. I can tell you, I'm going to be right here all night, and if anything else happens, like I said, if you guys want to like, subscribe, and share this out, subscribe. Make sure you click those notifications. If something happens in the middle of the night, I'm going to be right here with you guys. So if you want to join us, make sure that you hit that subscribe button.
And here's the other thing that didn't make any sense to me. So going to the Ukraine issue. So the news media outlets were reporting that Putin had sent in upwards of 90% of his military into the Ukraine. So that means you only leave 10% of your military to cover 8, 12, 18 time zones. Not only that, but if anybody is old enough, and I'm sure there are, to remember when we went into Iraq the first time, we cut the power grid. Why? I'm watching video cams of the Ukraine. People are going on with their daily lives and everybody has power. That don't make any sense to me. And then 3 days ago, they were reporting Chernobyl had no power. They needed power in order for the water pumps to keep the rods cool so they didn't have a nuclear meltdown because the rods are still active. But they were saying 48 hours. That 48 hours has passed already. Yet the IAEA says, oh, no radiation out of Chernobyl. But if you look at radiation maps, it's showing radiation in places there shouldn't be any radiation based on prevailing winds.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Here,
And
here, here,
Putin's still going in and taking out the Nazis, whatever the hell
here's
that means.
here's a question for you because I've been bringing it up now for over a week. Um, the Chinese Communist Party is now getting ready to impose a law on their citizens that states if the citizens don't promote an invasion of Taiwan,
Yep.
there's going to be a punishment for that. So, what are your thoughts on with this going on right now? Where does this put China on maybe crossing the border into Taiwan?
Well, I said for weeks I didn't think Putin was going into the Ukraine. And when he supposedly went, it didn't make any sense because I watched his speech live and it seemed weird. And that's when he made the Nazi statement. And
Yep.
it didn't make any sense. It's like, dude, you got a better chance of getting Nazis in Argentina than you do the Ukraine. So that whole thing was off. But now, do I think China is going to encroach into Taiwan after seeing what supposedly Russia did to Ukraine? No response from the US, which in theory we really shouldn't. Now we see this, the Iranian gig. And just for the record, they just yanked Donald Trump off of YouTube. They just cut it. Said this video is now unavailable.
He must have been saying something they didn't like.
Right. So now, do I think China's going to go into Taiwan? Well, the U.S. is weak. We've proven we're weak. We have no leadership. Our military is, they might as well be doing drag queen contest. I mean, that's how pathetic it looks. So, all I can tell people is go find your favorite liberal and hug them and thank them for this. Because apparently this guy won fair and square.
Yeah. Here's a lot of chit chat there. Here's another thing that I reported on earlier this week, Jeff, and I'd like to get your opinion on it. The White House made reference to Putin and nuclear capabilities, and they even said when Putin puts out comments that he'll use that type of I guess warfare. They said that we America should take everything he says seriously. Now we could go back and forth and say Putin's a good guy, Putin's a bad guy. I believe Putin is a good guy, in my opinion. What's your thoughts on those type of rhetoric coming out of the White House?
Well, Russia's the boogeyman. Remember everything that the previous administration said and Congress said why T was in the White House. That was all gospel. They had the goods. I can remember all these congressmen and senators sitting up there saying, we got the goods. And it all turned out to be fake. Now, do I think you can trust Putin? He's KGB, GRU. He was a spy pretty much his whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think you can trust him? Probably about as far as you can throw him. But I'd love to have that guy in my corner, and I think when Trump met with him, it's kind of ironic that Putin gives Trump a soccer ball with those orange patches, and then next thing you know, Melania is wearing a dress with that same pattern. To me, I'm telling you, people say you're watching a movie. In a way, I think you are, because a lot of this stuff I think that we're seeing is going to have to be replayed and dumbed down to the American people so they understand it. Because the American people are so, how many people, I love to people watch, love it. People, when they're in restaurants or when they're in a grocery store, everyone's like this with their cell phone. There's no communication going on between people. They can't even, and the thing that pisses me off is when you are in a restaurant and you're eating and somebody answers their damn cell phone while they're at the dinner table. Probably that's why God didn't bless me with kids, because I'd smack the shit out of somebody if they picked up their phone. We just become so disconnected, and it's going to get worse. I think we haven't even seen the beginning of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, Stephanie says that ABC is reporting, so maybe it's starting to hit the news cycles. I'm not sure. Everybody in chat's trying to keep us up to date with what's going on. ABC is reporting casualties. So CNN, ABC did not air Trump's speech. I'm just trying to keep up with chat. Like I said, we're broadcasting across multiple channels right now. So I put the overlay up so everybody could see it. A lot of stuff going on right now.
Yeah. Well, Dale Rash, if I'm pushing unnecessary fear, at the top right-hand corner of your web browser, there's an X. Click it. Have a good evening.
It's good to be back.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I love it.
Well, I'll say this to all of you guys. After I finish with Jeff here, we get off of here, I'll probably fire back up for just a few minutes if you guys want to join me for prayer. We'll pray about all this stuff. You're all welcome to join me. It'll be separate from this, but you're all welcome to join me if you want to join in with prayer, and we'll pray about all this stuff. I mean, at this point, that's really all we can do. And then just try to keep people informed. And Jeff, he'll let me know. We'll come on. Oh, yeah. So if you guys,
we may be doing this a lot.
If you see an alert come across your phone or whatever that I'm coming on, I'll make sure that I put in the title Jeff B's with me. That's because he's got something he wants to say. So we'll be hopping right on.
Hey, and Travis concurred on your statement.
He's texting me right now too. Good to be back, baby.
All right, Mike. Well, if anything pops off, I'll everybody keep your YouTube live. This may get interesting.
This may be a long night, maybe a long couple of nights. So we'll be here though. I'm not going anywhere. So if you guys want to join us, like, subscribe, share this out, share it out to Facebook. We're really Facebook's blowing up right now. A lot of people watching us. So thanks if you're on Facebook right now for sharing that out. And thanks for joining us, Jeff. Really appreciate it.
Yep, no problem, Mike. Have a good evening.
All right, we'll see you. All right, folks. Jeff B, he's back. If you guys want to join me for prayer, I'm going to kill this, and I'll be back in like 10 minutes. If you guys want to join me for prayer, if you don't want to, that's fine too. I just kind of feel like my spirit's telling me right now I need to just stop what I'm doing and just say a prayer. And if you guys want to join me for that, I'd be glad to have you. So thanks for joining us tonight. Like I said, subscribe if you haven't already, because when Jeff B calls, I will answer the phone, and we will be back here on this channel. LWN is the one I'm probably going to go on. That's the one we've been on. I know I'm on 1, 2, 3. If you guys aren't subscribed to all those channels, please do so, because I probably won't go live again across all the channels, probably just 1 or 2. So if you guys want to subscribe to all of them, that'd be great. All right, folks. Well, thanks for joining us, and we'll keep one ear to the ground and one eye on the sky. See what's going on. Love y'all. God bless.
Hoping for a sincere performance, but open to finding the moment, to finding out where I'm headed now. Looking for a sign of disaster, so I can make it there faster. I'm weighing the consequences consequences out. I can see in all directions. It's all open to interpretation, but I see colors that are breaking from the other side, the other side. When I make mountains out of summer trails, when I buckle under all the details, I'll keep going till I make it to the other side, the other side. Can you tell me the secret of how you can take it or leave it? How you can blend in with the crowd? I'm so scared, so damn afraid to look. I'm so sick of talking. I'm wearing the words out, words out. I can see in all directions. It's all open to interpretation, but I see colors that are breaking from the other side, the other side. When I make mountains out of summer trails, when I buckle under all the details, I'll keep going till I make it to the other side, the other side. When it feels like everyone's out to get me, I see the river on the bank.